showing everything. I said, I find this to be quite interesting. What you must also keep in mind is that when Michael first passed, right after that, the following morning, I was told, the coroner came and he said that whoever did this intentionally. Michael had enough propofol in him, he said, to kill an elephant.
Wow.
Now, mind you, propofol, it just leaves your body immediately. With Michael, it didn't because he had a kidney and liver problem. So that made it stay into his system.
But you don't think it was Dr. Murray who did it?
Well, I think there was a conspiracy, right? Absolutely, Elizabeth. It was a conspiracy, and a lot of people were involved in this, and they know who they are. And they're very afraid of what I might say, of what my brother has told me.
Was he used in your mind, Dr. Murray, I'm speaking of, as the sort of hitman in terms of this conspiracy?
I think, honestly, in my total belief is that Dr. Murray was just the fall guy simply because he knew what was going on. But I don't know to what extent. Okay. And I can't say. I wasn't there when my brother was murdered.
But doesn't it boil down to who actually administered the propofol?
Exactly. Right. Well, who actually injected it into him completely?
Which would be
that
would be the person who would be
somebody was in Michael's house outside of that doctor during that time. Now that I do know, and I know who that person was that was in his house. Now whether that person did that or not, that I don't know.
But if you're saying that Dr. Murray is just the fall guy, and that there are people, you know, way bigger than him that was behind this, what do you want to see happen to Dr. Murray?
Well, first of all, let's look at it this way. If Dr. Murray, let's think about something. Now, if you're hiring an artist to sing for you and go out and perform, and you hire a doctor as well, the first thing you tell that doctor, if he asks for an aspirin, don't you give it to him until you consult us. That's the first thing. Why would you let a doctor be in there knowing that he's doing this and allow that to happen? Your concern would be more or less, don't give him anything. Why are they just letting this doctor do whatever he wants? Even when Michael said, I don't want the doctor around me, this is what was being said the last days, but no, you got to have this person with you.
Why do you think Michael was concerned about this? What were they after?
Well, first of all, he told me over and over and over. When he first told me, LaToya, they're going to kill me. I said, who, Michael? First, I thought you're Michael Jackson. Nobody in their right mind would ever think of doing anything like this to you. That's what you think. He says, no, but you don't understand. And then I saw how serious he was. He said, it's bigger than what you think. I said, well, Michael, what is it? He said, it's my publishing. They're after my publishing. They want to take it. As you guys know, my brother had one of the largest catalogs in the world, meaning music-wise.
The Beatles collection was one of them.
He owned the Beatles, yes. Yeah. There's an elevator music that you hear, just everything, basically a piece of every artist.
I'm really intrigued because you say that there was somebody at this house and you know who it was. Can you say who it was?
No, I cannot say because there were other people in the house as well. Because I prefer not to at the moment, but I will say this, I would love to have a one-on-one with several people. One person I would love to have. Safe? I would love to have a one-on-one with probably
I mean, I don't know. Did you say that because you think that you could instinctively get from them if they had a hand in his death?
Why don't you leave it to the law to deal with this?
Okay, you said leave it to the law to deal with this. Yes, of course, the law is dealing with this, but however, you must think about it this way. Joy, if you had a brother or sister that passed, and you knew that your sister or brother were telling you that they were going to do this to him, that it was a group of people, and this is what's going to happen to me step by step, the way he said it, not only to me, but to my mother as well, wouldn't you be concerned and wouldn't you be involved to find out who did it?
Yes, I do, but ultimately, it will be up to the legal system to deal with this. But you could be called as a witness by the prosecution. But of course, they consider that hearsay.
Yeah, that's of course.
Does your family? I know you guys talk. You're very close. Do they agree with the conspiracy theory?
Oh yes. Oh yes. A lot of the members agree with it. Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Okay, now you know, now the Jackson estate, it's not run by anybody from the Jackson family.
Nobody from the family.
It's run by two men who you feel were part of the conspiracy. Now, have Michael's kids, have anybody in the family received any money from his estate currently?
As of last week, from what I was told, no.
No, you haven't gotten any money.
No, from what I was told.
Okay, now we have to. I have to read a quote from the Jackson estate. It says, quote, the outrageous and obviously false statements made by LaToya Jackson are further examples of her willingness to say anything involving her brother for attention and money, end of quote. They go on to say that...
Stop there.
Well, I got to read the entire quote, LaToya. Okay. They go on to say that Michael appointed them as his executors and say, quote, their success in generating unprecedented revenues from Michael's estate, coupled with their persevering, protecting, and enhancing Michael Jackson's legacy speaks for itself. What do you have to say to that?
I have to say, first of all, to everybody, for attention. I don't need the attention. I'm Latoya. I'm known. I don't want to sound pompous, but I'm known all over the world.
Yeah.
I don't need the money. I have several different companies. I'm well off, very, very well off. What you have to look at and think about, look at it this way. These are the guys that knew Michael was worth more dead than alive. And what are they doing? All of his things that you see are being sewed and thrown into just so many different mixes, and the movie came out right away. As a matter of fact, by the time Michael passed, right away, everything was being collected. Again, I was told all the footage from the movie was collected. Everybody, the doors were locked. It
Why
says
were they
no.
making a movie, right?
We have to.
Because this is a part of a premeditation. Everything was premeditated.
Well, we're going to find out more in this book. Latoya,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming by. We want to thank Latoya Jackson. Members of our audience are taking home a copy of Latoya's book. When we come back, we are